This is what we're going to do, by the way, in this session. So it's going to be very little of me sharing insights, but it's more of us sort of discovering these perceptions, point of views together. And also, some of you will discover it sooner than others, because it'll also depend on how many of you engage in actually doing this round and round and take the effort to see what happened above and what happened below. So let's begin. And by the way, I've just asked Kaushik to enable us to all chat here. So I'll keep asking questions of us. And it'll be lovely if all of you can answer, share what you think. And unlike our quiz, in this one, there is no right answer, no wrong answer. So I love to hear from you. The aim of this is also to sort of debunk this whole notion of design. We feel like design is... Yes, Jill, are you saying something? Okay, so it's to debunk this notion of design. I have another question for you. Can you look around and maybe just where you are sitting? And if you were to type one thing that you see around you that you think has been designed, just put it here on chat. Just look around you and one thing. And mention, put it on chat that everyone can see. So just if you type your chat button and go to the top, you have an option of sending your, okay. Lovely. Yes, Jagriti, Sanjana, Rimsha, Gayatri. Let's hear more answers. Anything around you that you can see, which is designed. Yes, Samshri. Okay. I have another question for you. Can you name one thing that you think has not been designed? Yeah, you might be onto something there, Jill. But here's another question. Let's see some responses. Right. Jivita, what is it? Thought process, okay. Interesting one, Rajshri. Interesting one again, Dr. Soumya. Professor Raghavendra, you want to build on that answer? What do you mean by system?
The system is about where so we can take on different examples that actually we can take about the political system and everything is happening in the ecological system and climatic change. It's not properly designed, so we are facing huge challenges in the world. So that is how I just type a system regarding this.
Fair. Mm-hmm. Interesting answer, Gayatri. Lovely answer, Harish. Okay. So you said that everything around you has been designed, and also some of you were trying to think of what are things which are not designed. Let's take an example. Why do you say something is being designed? Say, let's hear from maybe Sinchana or from Gayatri. Why are you saying your water bottle has been designed?
For it to have a purpose.
Okay, so what part of it is designed? Say I have a water bottle here.
Yeah.
What
so the
is its
entire
purpose?
water bottle is designed in a way that it can hold water.
Okay.
So it has its own design.
Right. So what do you think has been the design element, if I may ask you?
Design element.
Yeah, I mean, how does it hold water? What would have been the thought process for a designer to keep in mind while designing this?
Okay, a container.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which can hold water.
Okay.
And which you can carry everywhere. The convenience.
Right. So made it in a way that I can hold it and I can carry it.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. People are also building on this answer. Jagriti said there is resistance, strength, portability, durability, okay, mobility. You want to share what you mean by some of these, and if you can give an example, what might be an element, Jagriti?
Yes, sir. So when we talk about resistance, like some of us put hot water, some of us put cold water. So if the material of the water bottle is not that durable, then there are chances that the bottle may break, it may crack. Also, some bottles we use for hot water, some we use for refrigeration purposes. So if it is not designed for a specific way, then it would not serve the purpose which the person is looking at.
Absolutely. So what do you think was being the purpose of this? Has it been for hot water?
This looks more like a milkshake bottle. So probably it is, I assume it to be a Caventer's or something. So I think probably it should be for cold stuff. But yes, the metal is in such a way that it could also resist some amount of hot water.
Right. Okay. So I'm hearing that the material strength has been such that, it can take very temperature. Okay. What else is a design element in this?
Also probably something which is very simple. They're looking at simplicity, durability. They wanted to look at something which is going to be of purpose to the main milkshake or the content, whatever you put in it, rather than making it more classy or fancy, because I feel their end design was marketing the product, not the bottle, but the product. So that's what it is.
I want to show you one thing about how, can you see this?
Yes. Okay. So this is the main catch element.
Yeah, and you're right. The cap is Caventer's, and that's where there is a quirky sort of quote, such that anyone who drinks out of it feels good, and there is this brand element going through it. There are other things also, because if I was to just say that, okay, it has a strength to be able to hold water and temperature, but it is also forming another function.
Support.
Yeah. So what is this? Why? How come it's standing?
The base, they have built upon the base. If the base is strong enough, it can sustain it. You can put it anywhere and it's still going to stand strong.
Yeah.
Probably the design of the base.
You also spoke about being able to put it in a refrigerator. So someone has also been able to think that, oh, the size of this base cannot be bigger than your refrigerator side compartment shelf. So someone has thought that, okay, this can go in there as well.
Yes.
Okay, what else? Anyone else? What has been the design element used in this? Anyone thinking of something quirky, something you're feeling, is that design? So Jeel has sent, the whole bottle has been designed. The storage part, opening of the bottle is common, absolutely. The basic purpose of storing water, being able to drink, yes. The cap of the bottle, that's another interesting bit. The cap of the bottle, right now I'm using a Caventer's cap, I told you. It's a cap which is a standard size. So I have a lot of bottles at home and we can interchangeably put any cap on any of these bottles. So there is some standardization there. Absolutely, Kajol. And it's been made such that if we lose it, if it gets rust, we can change. Now, these are things that a designer has been thinking about. And this is true for most of your products around. I just picked up the bottle, it being here and something that Sachi said. But if you look at your chair, even the table on which right now your laptop probably is sitting, imagine if the legs of that table were closer. What would happen? Someone wants to take a guess? The legs of your table were closer. Yeah. What would happen if the legs were further? Let's move them an inch further from where they are currently. What would happen then? So I hear you. If we bring them closer, the balance will go. If we bring them just a little further, what will happen? Nandish says it will start looking different. Yes. Mohammed Hussaini, why do you think we will not be able to put more weight on it?
Sir, because it is already stretched now, so we can't put more into it. So it will get broke.
From where will it start breaking? From where will it start breaking?
Middle of the table, sir.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I'm just sharing these examples because everything has been finely balanced. The circumference of this, you're realizing, is not a chance. It's been put with thought, such that it balances and at the same time it fits into your fridge. At the same time, you can hold it. The width of your chair, the width of your table, there has been some thought given to these. And these are also things which are pointing to the system, because there was already a system existing that the fridge has certain width on the side. So when a designer is designing this, he or she is looking at that my bottle has to fit into that. If a table is being designed, they are also saying that sometime Mohammed might want to sit on the table and not just keep his laptop on it. Maybe wants to stand on the table when he's clearing, something from an attic. In that case, it has to take the weight and it cannot break from the middle. So they are looking at these kind of things. And this is something that you can say for most of your products around, from a pot that has plants in your house to the showcase that is not toppling on your head, to a doorknob that everyone can easily grab and turn, are all things that somewhere or the other have been designed with keeping this mind that who is going to use it and also what the existing system they'll be placed in. But I have a larger question for you. So you are right. Somebody said it absolutely right. I think it was Jill. What did you say? You said everything is design. This is a quote by someone whose name is Paul Rand. He also designed this logo. Can you guess what company's redesigned logo this is?
IAM.
Mm-hmm.
It's IBM.
IBM.
Yeah. Just coming and bringing a common myth. Often we think of design as these designers who are designing websites, who are designing logos. But actually, any of these products that you see here were also designed for solving some functionality. Can you imagine like something as simple as a kite? Someone was to say, if you have a paper and a thread, can you make it stay in the air for hours and hours? Or how can we carry so much load across ice without ever sinking in? And just fundamentally, we begin seeing design as something more than just like this aesthetic, but essentially around solving any problem. But very quickly coming to why does it matter? Why does it matter to you? I mean, we are all studying either in BBA course or a BCom course or a BCA course. So how does this matter? How does design matter? And I want to pause on this question. Let's hear from 3-4 of you. How does this matter? How does design is problem solving? Design is everything around. How does it matter to you who is studying? And you can just raise your hand and let's hear from some of you. Or you can, of course, Aarti has something interesting. She says, designing your organization. You want to build on that answer, Aarti?
Sure, sir. I feel as I'm a BBA student, maybe if I am planning to start a company, to manage people, you need to know how to manage people. You need to have a design. You need to have a plan. So every plan basically has a design. Interlinked.
Yeah, beautiful answer. Gayatri, can you build on that?
Yes, so whatever we design, it is only to use it as per our level of comfortness. So according to me, design is nothing but meeting our level of utility.
Yeah. Okay. And as students in whatever stream you are, what kind of organization you want to design? What kind of utility you want to meet? can be Aarti or Gayatri itself, or we can also hear from a new voice. Or very simply put, I said in the last slide that it is about problem solving. What kind of problems are you solving or you aspiring to solve? Aarti, what needs are these?
Small needs. Now, for example, as you spoke about a water bottle. So why do you need a water bottle? Maybe while you're traveling, because it comes in handy. Maybe there are different sizes. That's when it also comes in handy. That is why I feel every problem has a solution. So every problem can be solved through different designs. That works for maybe that particular individual or groups of people.
Right. So as a BBA student, what problems are you aspiring to solve? Or what problems are you seeing around you, which even through your course, you can look at solving? So let me rephrase it. Aarti, if you were to start an organization, is there a pressing problem that you feel you're seeing around you that you want to solve?
Yes. So now if I would want to start an organization or a company, maybe I would want to start a clothing brand. So where I would take an initiative and start it with reusing of fabric or looking forward for a green planet. I mean, there is a lot of waste generated through fabric, through different companies who are into fabric. So I would be thinking of reusing that fabric either to start not only a clothing brand, it may be even handbags, it might be carpets, curtains, anything like that. But the main agenda or the main aim would be to take care of our environment, at least small steps.
Brilliant. Yeah, and it's a pressing problem. Do you know, like in a population of 7 billion around this world, every year, 2 billion clothing articles are going back into landfill. So if you can do something where you are reusing that and creating an enterprise, absolutely a spot on problem. These are some pressing problems, by the way, that designers are now actively designing things around. I have a problem for all of you, and we are now going to move quickly to see what this design thinking is about, and how, as students of business, of commerce, of computer applications, can we start seeing things differently? Can we start seeing things from a designer point of view? So I have a problem which probably impacts all of us. It's a problem of Corona. And what has happened is, we sent out SOS or emergency stress signals around the globe saying, guys, we are in dire need of oxygen and aid. Please send them to us. And many countries responded and have sent us aid, and they've reached Delhi. Now, here's a problem for all of the students here. There is an oxygen cylinder that is in Delhi and has to reach Bangalore. Now, the distance from Delhi to Bangalore is 2,158 kilometers. That's about 32 hours of on-road time. The problem statement is, how quickly can you get the oxygen cylinder from Delhi to Bangalore? For some of you who are thinking 32 hours, well, that's the ideal case, but here are some challenges. But before I share the challenge, have you understood what our intention of this problem is, the problem statement is you have an oxygen cylinder that has arrived in Delhi and you have to get it to Bangalore, and the driving time from Delhi to Bangalore is 32 hours. And here are some things beyond. While it's a 32-hour journey, a truck can have a driver and an assistant only in their front seat, and you need both of them at any given point of time. A person can drive for up to 8 hours a day. They then need about 8 hours of sleep, and they also need 8 hours of the vehicle maintenance, maintaining themselves, some leisure, time for refueling, time for any maintenance check, all of that. So which means that you have an active of 8 hours drive in a day, but you can of course push it, and that's a call that some of you might want to take. Given these are some constraints, what is the earliest you can get the truck to Bangalore, and how would you solve for it? So people who are in computer application, you can look at technology as a solution, see what you can change. For commerce, see what you can change. For business students, again, look at as a design, what can you look at in this problem? And if you have an answer, which is in terms of either number of days or in terms of number of hours, send it on chat. We'll hear from you. Stop sharing. Even help us think. Okay, Jeel says 24 hours. Jeel, you want to share how you're getting it down to 24 hours?
While the driver is sleeping, the assistant can drive. So the sleeping time can be optimized. Like, I don't know how to explain.
Fair, good answer. Good answer. So you are saying that you will compromise on one of their requirement, which is to have two people awake in front of the truck. You will say, well, while one person rests, the other person can drive, which means you will essentially bring it down to 32 hours. That's the driving time. So you will say that they will alternatively sleep. What about maintenance time, for which the truck might need to be refueled, or they might need to stop to eat food? Okay, so that's something that you can think about and build on that answer. Let's hear more. So, and that's a possibility there where they alternatively drive and at a small risk, which is there is a possibility that the assistant is not awake.
You can also make a green corridor or like an emergency corridor, and you can drastically reduce the travel time.
Okay, so you are reducing the traffic on the road. Such that things go smoothly. Fair. And but how will you solve this problem of the driver and the assistant being
As Jill said, we can have one person sleeping or doing his leisure activities while the other driver is driving, and we can alternate between that. And when they really want to get out of the truck and they want to stretch or whatever, we can have them get off at a refueling station. So that's optimized. So they can get their food or snacks at the refueling station. There'll be a snack stop, and they can refuel their truck, and they can do the leisure activities there.
Got it. Got it. Good. Great answer. I'm going to prompt you to again look at if you can reconsider this and build on this answer. The requirement of having two people awake in front of the truck is a safety requirement. And I see that most of you are saying, okay, for now it's an emergency situation. We can take the safety, a little bit, not so urgent. We'll have other considerations. Let's see if someone's got a better answer.
Can I say something? I
Yes.
just wanted to ask, is there a problem where, is there only one ambulance which can use?
Is there only one ambulance that can be used? No, you go ahead.
So, okay,
You can be creative.
so 8 hours a day means 4 days to bring the oxygen from Delhi to Bangalore.
Yes.
And if we can arrange a ambulance every 8 hours of the drive, after the 8 hours of a drive, I mean, if you go from Delhi to somewhere near Ahmedabad or Mumbai, and from Mumbai to Goa or from Goa to Bangalore, somewhere in the between, and we can reduce the days only. We can directly go from 32, from 4 days to 32 hours.
So when you say there'll be an ambulance, are you saying, can you just build on that? How will it happen? Will the ambulance go with the truck?
I mean, to carry the cylinder, basically you need a truck or ambulance. So if you can
This
take
is a
an
whole
ambulance,
truck filled up for oxygen.
okay.
And what you are proposing is,
or else we can, we can change the truck itself. I mean, the whole container can be detached and attached to a new vehicle or something like that, because that is an emergency and people might help.
Sure. Okay. I'm liking the way you're thinking. Can you build on that? Just sort of
okay. So
look at what the
thing
specifics
is,
are. But this is a great idea. I see you build on this.
From Delhi, take it as which will be 8 hours of drive. Okay, take it as Udaipur. So from Delhi to Udaipur.
I can show you the map. But yeah, build on that. Let's say the first stop is Udaipur, which is 8 hours.
Okay, I don't know that it is exactly 8 hours or not. I'm just building on it. Giving an example.
Yeah.
So in Udaipur, when the truck reaches, the people who are arranging the oxygen can arrange a new truck or the new front part, which can have a driver and assistant ready. So I mean, you have that truck ready. Then as soon as the truck reaches Udaipur, you can detach and attach to it to a new vehicle where the driver and the assistant will be, I'm like they'll be having their own time, and they'll reach another destination in 8 hours. So from Udaipur, next stop will be near Mumbai, and the distance will be 8 hours. So the distance covered from Delhi to Mumbai is 16 hours right now. Instead of 2 days, it is 16 hours.
Great, got it. So I have a question on that. I don't know, by the way, who's speaking. Can you tell me your name?
Siddharth.
Siddharth.
My name is Siddharth. Yes.
Siddharth. Okay. So Siddharth, when the driver is reached Udaipur, now you are saying that a new truck comes in.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah, that is right.
Right. So a new truck comes in, and so the oxygen which was in the current truck, you will refuel it in the other truck.
No. Okay. So my thing is, have you seen trailer?
Yes. Okay. So there are trailers.
So the large compartments or the large components which are.
So you're saying that the oxygen can be removed and can be put on a new truck now.
Oh, you didn't get my point. Okay, so the vehicle has to be like the whole component, the whole trailer has to
Yes.
be detached, and
Will
they
detach.
have the new attachment with the new
With the new
trailer.
truck.
I mean, how to share a picture here now?
Fair, I got it. So like the whole back trailer of it can
Yeah,
be
yeah.
detached and can be put into a new truck.
Yeah, the new trailer, yeah.
Yeah, and a new set of drivers can take it forward.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So basically, the time reduced will be from 4 days to 32 hours.
Brilliant. Can you build on this idea? And there is a lot of merit in what you are saying, because then essentially, how will this happen? Because then how will you have trucks on standby in Udaipur and in Mumbai, on these places? Also, would the first truck that had started from Delhi and reached to the second point, will they then stop and then go back empty?
I mean,
So think about this. I hear your answer, and that's how at least the consignment can reach in 32 hours.
yeah.
But build on this and build on the sort of the supply on this. There is merit in the direction in which you're going. This is great. I'm loving your answers. Let's hear more. Let's hear these creative solutions. Let them keep coming. It's a life problem.
Could we just fly the oxygen? Put it in a plane.
Fly the oxygen. Yes, now here is where the constraint is. So at every given point, if you are 3 departments, the commerce team is starting to complain, and they're going to say, guys, we have so many cylinders, so many states to give. If you're going to air fly all of these, the budget of our supplies is going to get cut down because our budget of internal transportation is going to be so high. So you have the BCom team complaining and saying, pamp, the cost footprint.
It necessarily doesn't have to be. I just checked. There's a lot of in commercial airliners. There's a lot of cargo space left even after the baggage filling is full. So we could just haul some of the oxygen that way. And we have lots of flights to different cities and different ports. So we could arrange for trucks in the ports so that will cut down the time very drastically from 3 days to less than half a day.
Super. The BBA side of our friends here are saying, great solution. The only challenge is that these containers are huge and they are not, malleable that you can just put them in the empty cargo space. The possibility then is you spend time in filling smaller oxygen cylinders at Delhi itself, and you only ship them in small oxygen cylinders that can be transported in cargo, but we don't have enough of that. But a good solution, again, it's a possibility. Let's see what other ideas are there. Actually, I want to also share some more information with you guys as you're sharing, and let's see if that will help you prompt some more. So you're beginning to see that this problem has many other aspects associated with it. Here are some more. This is a typical example of the driver who was given this responsibility to move from Delhi. He has a daughter whom he's helping with studies every day. If he was to make this 4-day journey and 4 days back, there is a cost to pay, which is the daughter's education and the child and the wife and child at home. Some of you also said that we can stretch the time. Well, in this case, there is also a challenge that you have a risk that you're increasing every hour by 10%. And oxygen, or if you remember in chemistry, is an extremely inflammable gas. So the more risk you're putting a risk of accident, and it can have a large potential danger. These are some commercials also here for the commerce team. It's just some more information for you to consider. And let's keep hearing these solutions. I'm also noticing time. I've got time for maybe 2 or 3 more suggestions. You can even type them on chat. Harish has a good idea. Harish says, is it important to get the cylinder from Delhi only? Can we get it from somewhere nearer? Yeah, in an ideal case, yes. Let's hear. Jagrati, what are you thinking?
Feel that maybe they could replace the drivers at every station. Like point A to point B, the drivers and the driver and the assistant could be changed. So while the drivers and the assistants are being changed, you could get time for refueling. Also, these two could take their bit of rest. But the only thing is when they are going back, it's as good as we are incurring a cost for them. But that cost would be only to transport back these 2 men as compared to transport back the entire empty truck, which would be much more effective. Like that's much more of a loss.
Yeah, so you are saying that let's have like a bus system that they can be connected with, and maybe your BCA friends can help you create an app where all these logistics drivers can easily book a ride back home.
Yes, sort of.
Something like that can happen.
That could be useful.
Yeah, Harish is saying there's a possibility to get oxygen cylinder from Hyderabad or Chennai. Yeah, it's a possibility. But in that case, there is also a lot of shipment that happens from Delhi or plates in north to here because there is so much oxygen supply or so much medical supplies which are there. So I'm hearing that can we look at a systemic change where most of these goods can be secured from local places? Yeah, we could do that. Any thoughts on the current problem statement?
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, Sumant.
Suman, I'm working in Cresta as a physical education director. My network is not that stable here, but I don't know whether you can hear me.
I can hear you. I can see you, Sumant. Go for it. What's your answer? Sumant, are you coming in with an answer?
Sumant sir, you can switch off your camera. Maybe only audio is okay.
Sir, I have an answer.
Yeah, go for it.
Sir, I think before sending the oxygen, we should know the requirement, how much Bangalore required. So wherein instead of, sending a truck, we can send what Bangalore actually requires. So it can, like, for example, if we are driving a big truck, so there will be a possibility. So we have to drive in 60 kilometers per hour or 80 kilometers per hour. So there will be a limit. And if we are using like small vehicles, so it can move fast. And as Siddharth said, like we can change the drivers at some fueling station or something like that. So it will make movement better, I feel.
Okay. Super. So we had some ideas. You were thinking about the problem. In interest of
Can you
time.
hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, Sumant.
I'm sorry, sir. There were some network issues.
Yeah. Do you want to share your answer? Are you looking at sharing the answer?
Yes, sir, definitely. Recently, not that recently, there was some heart transplant. We had to get a heart from Mangalore to Bangalore, but we had some roadblocks, and the traffic were very good cooperative, and the driver was very fast who got it within 4 hours from Mangalore to Bangalore. We saw that incident, it was viral all over. And I don't know how emergency is this situation. We have to get oxygen from Delhi to Bangalore.
Yeah.
If it is too emergency, I heard some of our students saying that we could change the oxygen cylinder plants after 8 hours. After 8 hours, changing oxygen cylinder plant would be tough. It'll take more time. But every 8 hours, we could keep a drivers who are so experts. At that point, we don't need all the drivers to be seated in the truck itself. We could get drivers at the exact points where we have in very good drivers, and we could control them like roadblocks, wherein we can get in quicker. And as of my knowledge, if it's a heavy vehicle, I don't think it needs that much of resting time.
Right.
When you're traveling, they are heavy vehicles and they're meant for traveling only. 32 hours. Yeah, at least for 8 hours, if you give 1 hour or 2 hours rest.
Got it.
With proper changing of coolants.
Yeah.
And quicker fuelings rather than wasting time. By this time, one person driving from Delhi to one place after 8 hours, you would be with full food, with proper sleep. You could get in the truck, another can get down.
Got it. Great answer. And you're also building on Jagriti's answer on that you can just change the drivers and let the truck go on.
Yes,
maybe at different points, you can have these stops for drivers.
Yes.
Let's see what, and all of these are solutions. All of these you also realize that all of these as an idea feasible, but also have to be backed up with some kind of a systemic change. Either in case of when what Jagriti said, you need a way to get the drivers back to their respective places. You need a way to get the truck back to its respective place. So these are all systemic things that you can start building on.
Yes.
I want to introduce you at this juncture to something which is a stream called the business design. Like we said, it somewhere lies at the intersection of designing business and technology. You also see that, okay, what is the technology feasible to bring any of these kind of solutions? What is the business case? How will we manage economics, money of transportation back and forth? What can be the design around this? And I thought this is a sort of very applicable to all of you, because I see all the commerce and BBA students somewhere in the business circle, the BCA students also in the tech circle, and can design come in and influence just the way you're thinking. So I want to just very quickly bring what this business design thinking is versus management consulting. Business design is something which is very cognitive of humans whom they are designing for. So when we looked at the story of a driver there, I wanted to also see in your own thinking, how much are you wanting to think from that person's point of view versus looking at what your target of your business target is. Also, this is a way of thinking which embraces the different points of views, the different sort of matrices that throw up, versus just very typical management case study thinking. Just want to pause here. Any reflection, any comments as you're reading this? You can send this on chat. So coming back, what one of the solutions around this problem came was actually something, sir, who is the director for physical education from your department, came in as a solution for this possible challenge of logistics, which was that of a relay system. This is one possible solution around this, where and this is a real case, a company called Revigo. What they started doing is they said, well, the truck has to reach from point A to point B. Can we, rather than breaking a journey at 8 hours, break it up at 4 hours? So what will start happening is, as a truck leaves from Delhi, there are also many trucks which are going in the opposite direction. A driver drives their truck for 4 hours in the direction of towards Bangalore, stops there, exchanges the truck with the next driver who had come from, say, Udaipur or towards Delhi. They meet midway and they exchange their trucks. So now the first driver actually drives this guy's trucks and takes it back to Delhi. So by the end of the day, is back at home, is with his family. The second truck guy has taken this truck to Udaipur and the truck has reached in 8 hours straight. And like this, they built an entire network of drivers being able to exchange their trucks. And this they've enabled using technology. It's an Indian company. It's actually become the largest logistics company in India. It's called Revigo. I put it, oops. Let me just put it on chat for everyone to see. And they did it keeping some of these principles in mind. Because when they were also seeing typically how logistics moves, where things take time, there is also an impact on the lives of the truckers when they're out on the field for so long. Because typically, if they're taking a consignment 4 days to reach one place, they also don't get consignments back to their own place. So they'll get a consignment maybe to go to Bombay or to someplace else. As a result, they'll be away from their families for 15, 20 days, making them prone for more STDs, making them also stay away from their family. So they built this entire logistics system to be able to move anything very quickly, keeping the safety aspect in mind, keeping also the personal life in mind. I wanted to also very quickly bring some other such examples from around you, which have looked at this as a thinking and has brought in, design thinking into their solutions. Any familiar brand here? And could anyone take a guess why I've put that company or any of the companies here? Why have I put Amul here? What's the problem that they had? What's the creative solution they've been able to bring about? Anyone? You can put it on chat. Okay, so let me very quickly share. One of the challenges with them was farmers getting paid their due. Because typically when you have organizations and you'll have farmers who are harvesting milk, they will get paid only a percentage of what you are paying as a price. Most of it goes in getting the product across to you. Started back in the 60s where they formed a cooperative to come together and say, hey, can we all come together and start an organization? There are several problems. So Khata book is a recent such example where if you know your Kirana stores around, who typically don't give you a bill and don't do accounting, the simple solution for them to start getting accounting so that they can calculate what their profit and loss is every month. It's a simple technology solution. Companies like Indus Action are also helping students go back to school. So today, government has right to education where every school, private, public, need to reserve 25% of their seats for students who can't afford. But it's a scheme that not many of us get to know about. So companies like these are sort of looking at problems and looking at creative solutions around that. I wanted to just end this session on that note, which is in your 3 years or 4 years of education, what are some problems that you are seeing around you? You want to be a BCA, BCom, BBA student who is doing the NOW, filling accounts, managing people, working on applications, or you want to take this time to start looking at design solutions to problems around you. So just that's something I wanted to close with. Around.